Hi, this is Andrew, and she's Adeline.
Yes, I'm Andrew's wife, obviously.
Well,
alright.
We don't need that kind of details, but yeah. Welcome to a new episode of A Copywriter's Journal. So this week, we want to talk more about working space. So I've invited my wife over here to share about different views of how a content creator that works at home uses their creative space. Yeah.
Yes, basically I think space is really important for us because I start working as a freelancer. A freelancer as in a work at home translator 5 years ago, and he started working as one
2 years.
2 years.
2 years ago.
Yeah. So so most of the time we would stay at home and work. Yeah. So for normal people, after they come home, they would just take their time, rest and all that. But not for us. For us, after we wake up from bed, we start working. So we don't have a fixed hour.
Yeah, I mean, to think of that, our working hours are worse than the time that I'm in corporate. Like, at least I can wake up and go for a good breakfast, then just drive my car towards the office. Now it's like, wake up, it's time to work. It's good and bad.
I don't.
Yeah, it depends on how you.
Yeah, because
it depends on how you look at it.
I still take time for breakfast.
Yeah, sometimes I tend to oversleep myself. So it's always like wake up, brush teeth, and work. So it really depends on character.
But I think what matters is that the home is no more. It's not a home anymore. It's like your work.
Yeah, it's an office slash home. So
office slash home.
Basically, if you are a freelancer, or people might say a digital nomad, though we don't really like to use that title that much, right? We'll tell you more about it on our next video. Not here, but so typically, if you're a digital nomad, so there are a lot of ways that you can work. So the first one is definitely stay at home and work. And second one is get a co-working space, sign up for a co-working space and work there because the internet and the facilities are really good. And the third one is cafe hopping, which is what me and Adeline occasionally do. So there are days that we need a very stable internet and we can only find it at home. So what? So we will choose to work at home. So we will choose to work at home.
Okay. So when you are talking about working at home, space is what matters, right?
Yes, true.
So what do you look into for space, workspace at home?
Okay. What I look into, the most important thing for me is privacy.
Privacy.
Privacy. I don't like people bothering me during my creative process, even.
Oh, okay.
So basically, I like my own space. I don't like to get frustrated by the noise or by small interruptions whenever I'm planning a content, writing a content. I'm the type of person that requires full focus. So that's why you can see that I have my own space. Like the previous photo that I share on Instagram, you can see that my space is exclusive to my own use. It's a no entry zone. But it's a bit different from Adeline. Care to share more?
Yes, I think like work at home. It's more about I think I quite agree with you that we need a very quiet space that no one would just barge in. So what I'm looking into is the space. It has to be clean and it has to be some windows, because when I get stuck, I can look outside the window for views, to clear my mind and reboot again. This is how I work, like, because working as a translator is kind of, you know, sometimes you feel stuck, you couldn't find the right word to put into the, you know, then you just really have to space out for a little while. Like for me, I would just look outside the window as far as space out. I would just look outside the window and, you know, like contemplating, and then I would come back to my work. Yeah, it's really like, I really like this part, you know, like it's a part of my creative process. So space does matter in this case.
Yeah, space. Yeah, space does matter. Space does matter in this place. So with that said, we just want to directly bring you to our next part of the video, which is we want to give you a short tour on our space.
Yes.
Yeah. So here you go.
Let's go.
Okay, so first up, my creative hub. Come and have a look. Yeah. So this is where all the magic happens, you know, from my Mac and from my iPad. Yeah. So this setup is pretty much very simple. You know, I have space enough for me to write and type, and it's a bit messy, sorry for that. Yeah, I try to make it as tidy as possible. And you see there's some poster to vibe up the environment, because this is not my house, so I try not to pin a lot of pictures on it. And then I have two beautiful plants here, special credit from Moonshot Gallery. Yeah. And then here I have my bookshelf, where you can see like there's a lot of books here. Yeah, ranging from fiction to non-fiction. Yeah. And then this is the lovely thin couch that I have. So what I normally do is when I feel tired, just gonna like lay here and think of things. Or as you can see, now it has been used for my video recording. You see the tripod here, and yeah, it's very messy, and yeah, don't mind me. It's a very small setup, but basically if you don't have much space and you want to make the best out of it, this is how you do it. At least this is my way of doing it. And if you want your space and all that, you can try to figure out like how do you want to set things up and how do you want to build your own creative space. Oh yeah, and one more thing. Previously, before I got my own recording camera, this is how I record. Let me show you. This is the small tripod space where I put my iPhone here, and I would just sit on this chair and start recording. So the previous video that you see is taken like this. Yeah. And yeah, that's it for my room, and I'm gonna pass it to my wife to explain her place.
So this is my favorite place in this house. So you guys can come in. Oh, this is where I normally work. So we have this, you know, table light. Then my MacBook. So I normally sit here. I always love window seat, and you can see I enjoy it. So when I'm stuck, I will just, you know, flip open them, and then I look at outside. And I will find some, you know, creative ideas. This is how I work normally. Another reason this is my favorite space is that because, you know, we have a bed here. So when you feel tired, when you are running out of ideas, you can actually lie here, you know, play with the, you know, cat. Yeah, this is so, yeah, you know. So if I don't want to work here, there are another place that I can work. So come over. Now this is my second favorite space in this house. And yeah, normally sit here again.
It's a dining table, but she insists that it's a work table, so yeah.
Yeah, and then you can also, you know, check out the views outside when you feel stuck. Yeah, so I'm always sitting there and facing the window, the view, as you can see. So yeah, hope you like this, my favorite space.
Okay, so this is the last location, our entertainment space. So this is where all the Netflix binging, all the gaming happens. Yeah, as you can see, my Nintendo Switch, my PlayStation 4, and my beloved 4K television. Yeah. There are a lot of times people think that, you know, when you work as a freelancer, you need to work like 24/7. In fact, like, of course, some of the days we work like 10 plus hours a day, but we still want to enjoy our lives, you know. Like, that's what the flexibility of freelancer gives us. So we will always take time to enjoy and relax if we can. And as you can see, the segregation for the entertainment space and the workspace is clear, because I don't like to mix entertainment and work together. But of course, for my wife, she's okay with it. So working in the living space and also in the bedroom is fine for her. So it depends on personal preference on this matter. Okay, if you're like me, then you want an entertainment space and a creative space. But if you're like my wife, you can mix both entertainment space and workspace together, then this will also be a good setup. So it all depends on what you want at the end of the day. Yeah. So we hope that you have enjoyed the tour for our little space. Obviously, we didn't show you like our toilet or things that you don't need to see. It's very gross, you know. Yeah. To show people.
Gross? I don't think so, because you clean it. Every week?
Yes.
Yeah.
The toilet scrubber.
So you shouldn't say that. Yeah, it's clean.
I mean, it's just gross showing people your toilet.
Oh yeah. You might don't want. You might. You know,
you might want to see it. Yeah. So, anyways, if you like the video, like and share, subscribe on YouTube. Yeah. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch until the very end. I don't know whether our content has bored you or not, but if you have any other requests of what you want to see on our next content, you know, just drop it on the comment section and we'll try to create video content for that. And yeah, just want to thank everyone that supported us so far, and we hope to create more real life experience of how content writers are, not content writers only, right? Content creators are. Yeah, so see you on the next video.
Stay tuned.